Hello everyone, it's your girl Jassy aka J Renee back at it again with another video. So today's video we are getting our patchwork on. You know the patchwork queen always got something new for you. And so we're making a cute little patchwork t-shirt today. Just in time for the summertime, okay? You wanna look summertime fine? Patchworking it up. Okay, this video is for you. So you can like this video because I know you're gonna like it, and hit that subscribe button. Also turn on those post notifications so you don't miss a video. Jossy's back and better than ever, okay? So without further ado, let's just get into the video. All right, y'all. So we're gonna start with our first t-shirt. I used this Walt Disney World t-shirt that I had, and I thought it would make a cute little patchwork shirt. And then all the other colors that I just brought from the shirt, so like the white, the dark blue, the red, is perfect. I also use scissors and a rotary cutter. So first I'm gonna cut off all the necessary pieces, which is the collar and the sleeves. Those go first. I'm gonna cut them off really carefully without going through the seam. So I'm just gonna cut them off like a little at the seams, basically. You can use your seam ripper, but I always just like cut it off because maybe I'll just use it later. And I cut off the bottom hem as well. Now for the actual design of it, I think I used about an inch. I spaced out about an inch from the actual design on the sides and the top and the bottom, just to make sure I had plenty of space to sew it back together. And then the rest of the t-shirt I just cut out as usual into different size squares and things like that. And so once that was finished, I went to my white t-shirt and did basically the same thing. I cut off the bottom half because I was just going to save the top half for later for whatever project I have next, and then cut out the same squares about roughly the same size. I also had this one t-shirt that was the dark blue and another red one, and it's the same process, just cut out a bunch of squares. Next, I'm gonna rearrange all of the rectangles and square pieces that I have to go along with the design of the shirt. That's what I want to do first because I'm gonna use the infamous, patchworking style that I do. I'm gonna take it to the sewing machine. I'm using my overlock serger machine to put those pieces together, so then I can have everything looking nice and clean, and on the inside and on the outside. But a regular sewing machine using the zigzag stitch would work perfectly. So I just keep doing that until all of my pieces are together the way I planned them. And then I'm going to iron them down just like so everything is nice, flat, and even. So we are creating basically the fabric of the shirt before we cut out the pieces. And then after that, I'm going to take the rest of the square pieces that I cut out and just do them in any random order. It's really no rhyme or reason. I just sew a bunch of pieces together without having the same colors next to each other. Basically, I try not to have the same colors next to each other. And then once I do that, I sew it back together again. So it's just a bunch of cutting and sewing, making sure each of the squares are even and things like that. And so now we have our strips of fabrics in different colors. They are all lined up perfectly how I'd want them to be arranged. So now we're gonna make our strips even, so on the sides they don't like wobble whenever, not wobble, but like, so they're even, nice and crisp straight lines while we're sewing them. So I'm cutting off just like the edges, just in case any of the patches are not exactly the same length across. And so I'm gonna keep that same order that I had. Most of the colors do not go together. Like, I didn't want most of the colors not to like match up with each other, if that makes sense. I know some of the reds do here, but it is okay. Now that we have all the pieces put together, we're gonna use our pattern, but first we have to fold our fabric in half, basically, so we can cut out this pattern for the t-shirt. So we're gonna fold it in half, make sure it's straight and that the design of the shirt is perfectly symmetrical. And match up the two sides first. I'm gonna get out my pattern weights, and then I'm gonna use my rotary cutter, and I think I lengthened it about 2 more inches from the bottom just in case. I'm using, I think, the small t-shirt pattern that I have, and I'm just cutting it out with my rotary cutter. I love my rotary cutter. I always say this in all of my videos, it just makes everything so much easier, so much simpler, and it's just perfect. And so that's the front of the shirt. And so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna love that, and I'm gonna leave it alone for a second, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the back of the shirt. Now the back of the shirt is just a bunch of patchwork pieces all patterned up together with no rhyme or reason. I'm just adding a different color every time I add one. And then once I have one strip, it's maybe it's a couple feet long, and I ironed it down and put it together like so. And so just as we did the front half, we're gonna do the same thing for the back half. Fold our fabric that we just made in half, and then use our pattern, put it on the folded side, and put our pattern waist down and cut it out like normal. If you got this far and haven't taken the time already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because I know you like this video, and if you stayed this long, you love it. So hit that like button and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss a video. Now back to sewing. After that, we should have a perfectly front and back piece, which I love. These colors go so well together and I love them so much. And now it's time for the pinning stage. A lot of people don't like the pinning stage. Some people use clips, but I pin the shoulder seams together, the ones at the top, and the side seams together as well. So I put in 3 to 4 pins for the shoulder seams, and then however many I need down along the side seams. You just match up the front and the back pieces together. Make sure that the front sides are facing, so the sides that don't have all the stitches on them, make sure they're facing, and then pin them all the way down from the shoulder seams and the side seams. And then we're going to take it to the sewing machine and sew a zigzag stitch if you have really stretchy fabric, or just a straight stitch, either or. And then when you are ready, just take it to the ironing board and iron it down with the right side out now. So I flipped it inside out and iron that down. And so next we're gonna do the sleeves. I pinned the sleeves that we cut off from that gray shirt before. I didn't have all the footage of doing the sleeves or the collar, so you just bear with me. I pinned the sleeves to the sleeve hole, and I pinned the collar to the top of the shirt. I used that red shirt for the collar, and now I'm doing a top stitch over the collar. I did a regular zigzag stitch to make sure that they're all together, and then I did the straight stitch on top. And this is how our t-shirt turned out. Look how dope that is. I also hemmed it at the bottom, but it's a perfectly cute shirt and I love it. I love the colors, I love everything about it, and it's perfect for the spring, summertime. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.